For the great people of our country, this is a very sad day. September 11th represents great sorrow for our country. Many things were displayed that day, including, most importantly, the bravery of our police, fire, and first responders of every kind. The job they did was truly unbelievable. We love them and we thank them. It is also a sad time for the way our war on those that did such harm to our country ended last week. The loss of 13 great warriors and the many more who were wounded should never have happened. Overall, 250 people were killed in Afghanistan last week, and so many more were seriously injured. We had $85 billion of the finest and most sophisticated military equipment taken from us without even a shot being fired. The leader of our country was made to look like a fool, and that can never be allowed to happen. It was caused by bad planning.
With Biden's embarrassing blunders in Afghanistan and the 9/11 ceremonies over the weekend, more and more pundits, even from the ultra-leftist CNN, are admitting that Donald Trump is indeed running a shadow presidency. In this video, we're going to take a look at Biden's blunders over the weekend. We're going to hear the anti-Biden chant that's sweeping college football stadiums across the nation. And stick with me to the very end of this video. We're going to find out precisely why so many pundits believe that President Trump is indeed running a shadow presidency. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote. As each and every day, I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and also make sure to show some love to the sponsor of this video, and that's our good friends over at Noble Gold. With all the volatility in the market, there's never been a better time to start a gold or silver IRA in your portfolio, and the amazing staff over at Noble Gold are ready to help you in any way that they can. And if that's not incentive enough, Noble Gold is gifting a 1/10 ounce solid gold American Eagle proof coin just like this one with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover going through in September. So don't wait. Click on that link below or visit their website at noblegoldinvestments.com or give them a call at 877-646-5347. Make sure to mention my name, Dr. Steve Turley, and let's ride that gold wave together. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. CNN, the most distrusted name in fake news, is the latest far-left outlet to admit that Donald Trump is indeed running what they're calling a shadow presidency. It's a very interesting piece. It was just published by the left-wing activists disguised as journalists over there at CNN, because overall, it's a basic admission by CNN. Well, it's as much of an admission that we're going to get from CNN, that an increasing number of Americans consider bumbling Biden to be an absolute joke, and they're beginning to more and more look for real leadership from number 45, and that's exactly what they're getting. For example, CNN pointed to the recent phone conversations that President Trump had with the families of the 13 servicemen and women who were killed by the suicide bomber in Kabul as part of bumbling Biden's disastrous troop withdrawal. We have to remember that several of those families actually refused to meet with Sleepy Joe, since of course he was too busy looking at his watch during the transfer ceremony of the remains of their sons and daughters. But they did take a phone call from President Trump, who offered his heartfelt condolences to the parents of these fallen heroes. And in reporting on the CNN piece, they cite a recent article in the Washington Post that confirmed that President Trump was indeed being briefed and updated on the Kabul situation by former White House officials, including former CIA Director and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Trump even sent out via his massive Save America PAC email list a statement from the mother of one of the victims of that terrorist attack, who suggested that her son was, quote, murdered for Biden optics. And the CNN piece recognizes that all of this is indeed not merely an ongoing campaign to reveal that Biden is both illegitimate incompetence, far more than that. Altogether, this is the deliberate public portrayal of Donald Trump as the true president of the nation, who is in a kind of temporary exile and who will be back very, very soon. Just take, for example, the comparisons that are being made between the appearances that President Trump made to mark the 20th anniversary of 9/11 versus the embarrassing blunders that Biden made. I mean, really, the two appearances could not have been more stark. President Trump made surprise visits to the NYPD, the New York Police Department, and the New York Fire Department, who, of course, they were the first responders during 9/11, running towards the World Trade Center buildings while everyone else was running as fast as they could away from them. Trump went out to greet our true heroes, and that's exactly what he told them. Take a look.
Bravest people. And right next door, and you know you love each other, because I know the blue. We love the blue. I'll say it loud. You know, you're not supposed to say that. We love the blue.
I'll say it. I'll say it. You know you're not supposed to say it, but I'll say it. I'll say it nice and loud. We love the blue. And then you can hear one of them yelling back, and we love you. And you could see Trump wasn't just treated with a hero's welcome by the New York's finest. He was treated as the true president of the nation. Now, as all this is going on, what was Biden doing? What was the reception that Biden was getting? Well, take a look.
The murderers, look, the murderers. Yeah, it's Obama. You're a mud for what you did to Afghanistan. Terrible, terrible.
Don't sniff him. Back up,
terrible.
Don't sniff him.
Biden was being mocked and ridiculed and jeered, and it got even worse. At some point during the ceremony, Biden actually pulled down his mask to yell at someone across the way. And you can see in the picture that Obama's just looking at Biden and thinking of those immortal words he once spoke. Never underestimate Joe Biden's ability to F things up. And there he is. He can't even stand in solemn silence. He's so clueless. He really has become a laughingstock all across the nation at this point. And to prove that, all you have to do is listen to what they're chanting at college football fields all across the country this week and see for yourself. Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden!
God bless Texas A&M.
Now, by contrast, did you see the reception that Donald Trump got at the Holyfield fight over the weekend? Gang, this is amazing. Take a look at this.
That was a fantastic job by a really great young man who's got a big future, and we're just honored. We're just honored. Thank you.
We want Trump. We want Trump. That's what everybody's saying in the audience. I don't think you hear that back home. Everybody's screaming right now. The people are going nuts. This is the main event in the South.
Thank you very much.
What an amazing rendition of the national anthem.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. This is an honor to be with you, and what a great evening. And I think you're going to see an incredible fight. And Jorge, it's great, Junior. It's great to be with you guys, and champions. We love you, man. Special people. Special warriors.
We're still going strong. Trump.
That's good.
They got the chant going that's been going around stadiums in college football for the last couple of days.
Well, it's a great honor, and thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, very much. We love our country. I love our country. Thank you very much.
We want Trump. We want Trump. We... they break out into F Joe Biden, and Trump just smiles and reiterates, we love our country. We love our country so very much. What an amazing contrast. Now, as I mentioned, CNN is but the latest ultra-left outlet to admit that Trump is indeed running what is, for all practical purposes, a shadow presidency. You're going to love a video I did on a number of left-wing so-called news outlets reporting on the fact that President Trump is indeed running what they're calling a shadow government. And what I do in that video is I actually break down for you what a shadow government is. It's actually a parliamentary term to designate a backup government that's formed to step in if the governing coalition in parliament collapses. Since you have so many different parties, right, in parliamentary systems, it's hard to get an outright majority. So parliaments form what they call shadow governments to step in if the governing majority falls apart. So in that video, I actually detail how Trump right now has formed a comparable shadow government. Again, this is a left-wing so-called news outlets reporting on this, gang. This isn't right-wing wishful thinking. Trump meets regularly with what his advisors are calling his cabinet. I mean, it's amazing stuff. I'll link that video down below for you in the pinned comment section so you can watch it after this one. But one of the latest to admit this is actually going on is the Nieman Foundation for Journalism at Harvard University. I kid you not, back in 2020, they predicted that the ratings that Trump gave to the media for the last 4 years were going to put renewed pressure on media organizations to keep Trump in the forefront of their news coverage. And in so doing, they would inadvertently aid in giving President Trump a new sort of shadow presidency. Again, this is coming from Harvard University. Quote, since Trump has tens of millions of devoted followers and the potential to make another run for president in 2024, it's easy to see how mainstream news outlets will find themselves in a position to justify treating him as a leader in temporary exile, as opposed to a powerless retiree, like with Obama and Bush. By doing this, the press will risk delegitimizing the actual government in favor of a shadow president, temporarily unable to enact policy until an expected January 2025 return to power. And I would take exception to this. I don't think it's merely the press or the mainstream media that has the power to create this perception of Trump running a shadow presidency. I think these guys at Harvard totally underestimate just how pathetic and utterly embarrassing Biden would be, and how the people, the perception of the people, would be the ones dictating to the press who they believe to be the real president of our nation, and who's just a bumbling old oaf stuttering and stammering around the White House back lawn. It is truly fascinating to see how a growing populist revolt against the permanent political class continues to look at 45 as their leader, the true leader of a massive and growing rebellion that's not just happening at 9/11 ceremonies or college football games, but is indeed sweeping the nation and more the world. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out that video on the details behind Trump running a shadow government. I take a deep dive into it. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.